Now, before we finish, do you have a favorite song on the record?
I think the whole thing, man. Like, it's cliche to say, or it's like kind of basic to say. I've created this album as a body of work. It needs to be ingested and digested as a body of work. You can have your favorites, you can put them on your playlist and all of that, but I'm encouraging people who come to the album to listen to it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Right? Feel the experience. I sequence it. The way that I sequenced The God That Sins as an album was extremely intentional. Like I was in New York and I went to the Book of Hove exhibit in Brooklyn. Right? He had an exhibit in the Brooklyn Library. And I sat there and I pulled out my laptop. I'm in the recreated baseline studios where he made all these things. Right? I wasn't even supposed to be sitting on the couch. The lady let me sit on the couch because she saw what I was doing. She thought I was like moved by the moment. And I started sequencing my album in the space that Jay-Z made all these records. One of my biggest inspirations. Right? And then when I thought I had it together, then I went to Art Basel. I was inspired by all the art and I started adding and moving things. And so my sequencing of the album is inspired by Art Basel and Jay-Z.
Crazy.
Right?
Crazy.
So that needs to be recognized in the way that the album is played from beginning to end. So it was important for me to do that, to experience it. So for me, there's no particular favorite because each song has its own sound. Each song has its own sound and it brings something of my personality that you may not have known. You may not have felt. You know what I'm saying? Like I spent years doing politically, socially charged rap songs and almost subduing or undermining my personality. Right? I like to laugh. I like to dance. I like to have fun. I like to live life. But you'll never get that in my records if I'm just talking about like just fight the power shit. Like, you know what I mean? So I wanted to give as an artist, as a concept that is unlearn the world, I have to give people a human experience about not only the things that I want to see in the world, but what I'm feeling, the emotion of it, right? Because I think that all of our societal problems, whether it's economics, racism, poverty, politics, they are all symptoms of a larger existential crisis in the human heart. We're tortured in America trying to wrestle against our inclination for good and having to put the glasses on to go do a job and start to acquiesce to what this job wants, or to get our phone and start acting differently in our phone, typing comments that we would never say to another person.
Because you know what I'm saying?
So we've acquiesced to being the worst of ourselves instead of being called to the best of ourselves.
That's deep.
You know what I mean? So it's important for my personality, the good, the bad, the indifferent, the fucked up shit I might have done, or the way people may perceive me in that respect versus the other shit that's noble and righteous and all of that. It's part of who I am. It's part of who we all are. But if we deny this of ourselves,
then what?
Then we're just we're in a complacent state of ignorance, and ignorance becomes bliss, but it also becomes the prison by which you exist in consciousness.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? And there is no growth from there. You know what I'm saying? So like I think more than anything, if I had to pick one, it would be reality checks. You know what I'm saying? Like I start the song saying like in my college years I was depressed for 2 semesters. Like that's the first time I've ever vocally said that.
Isn't it deep sometimes?
It was really profound for me but it was reflecting on like my emotional state, the things that are going on, or Sun Sky, that's another one, right? Just the hook in and of itself, just talking about like my children and what I'm willing to do. What any man or parent is willing to do for their children. So there's moments, I have moments. I don't have a favorite song, I have favorite moments in my album. That's dope. But I always encourage people to listen to the album from beginning to end.
No, that's true, that's real. Now, in closing, you have a world tour getting ready to pop off.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy because I was always hyped about the idea of seeing you perform in the UK, and now I'm back. And you're going.
We've been talking about that.
I'm like, when you get here?
You know what I'm saying? Because you was one of the people who was telling me, yo, you gotta get out here.
There's a life out here, homie.
There's some shit going on. People are telling me like your brand of hip hop is still active and alive in a very vibrant way.
Yo, in the UK, in Germany, in France, you got fans, homie. I guarantee
do it. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the response.
Yeah.
The European response to The God That Sins is insane. Like I've never experienced that before. And all right, let's give it a try.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
great, man.
And I know it's something that's worthwhile because it makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like this entire, like putting a tour together by myself, like this is independent. you know what I mean? Me pulling the money together, me booking the dates, me getting the people involved and doing all the, that's me doing it. This is not like, or this is my machine. It's not some external machine. This is the team I put together that is running the ship. And having that kind of power over your own destiny is very nerve-wracking.
I can imagine.
Right? I often say the biggest test of a man's character is to get exactly what you've always asked for.
I'm telling you.
And I'm in a space in my life now where I've gotten everything that I've asked for. Everything the 13-year-old, the 10-year-old in me, the 15-year-old in me, the 21-year-old in me had ever wanted in order to just like feel like they contributed to Earth. I've done that.
Yeah.
So now I'm in my 40s and now I have to dream bigger. I'm encouraging myself to dream bigger and be uncomfortable because I know that on the other side of that discomfort is the human being that I was meant to be. Woo. And that's where I'm going.
Say that one more time. On the other side of what?
On the other side of discomfort is the human being that I am meant to be. Right?
That's deep.
And in order to be the human being that I'm meant to be, I have to be the God that sins.
Deep. Man, thank you so much for sharing your ideas and your wisdom. This is beautiful, bro. We'll keep it rocking.
Absolutely.
All right.
Listen, my soul is the truest treasure. From cup of noodles to Puttanesca. In my college years, I was depressed for 2 semesters. My energy going in circles like Sufis in Mecca. A king in a room full of jesters, you goofies could never. Doing better now, I'm doing lectures, doing records, riding through my section, aura glowing, bioluminescent. I don't do elections, but I know that old rich white men need yellow, brown, black, and new suggestions.